Okay, please stop with this banana zone crap.
I don't think the Fed will be aggressive at all in cutting rates.
Shut the up. Thank you. Next.
We have a at the head of the Fed. He's a
Everyone's like, where's the banana? When banana? When the chart is then? I'll go through the chart in a sec. Guys, what's wrong with you?
Our mission is to make life-changing returns. We've seen it happen over and over and over again throughout history. We've seen it happen with the early stage investors in Bitcoin. We've seen it happen with the early stage investors of Solana. We've seen it happen with the early stage investors in Chainlink when it first launched. So crypto has the ability of providing the early stage investors with life-changing returns. So we've covered in depth on this channel why altcoins haven't pumped. Interest rates are high. They've been high for years. They've been high for the exact same amount of time altcoins have been down. So interest rates are the oxygen of the financial system. When they're high, they prevent liquidity from rushing into early stage assets that the world doesn't understand. When the world understands them, again, we start to get correlated to the stock market. Wall Street just keeps funneling money into assets like it's doing with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin hasn't done that great over the last 5 years. Since its all-time high in 2021, it's gone up from like 69K to 100K. That's a good return, but you could have done better in certain stocks, like quantum computing stocks and semiconductor stocks, right? So the reason crypto is down overall goes back to interest rates. So what comes next for interest rates? What comes next for altcoins? Today, we're going to cover brand new updates from both Raoul Pal and Steve Eisman, who's famous for shorting the housing market right before the massive global financial crisis, which is one of the greatest trades of all time. So first, let's hear from Steve Eisman of the Big Short fame. Then let's hear from Raoul Pal.
Under Powell, I don't think the Fed will be aggressive at all in cutting rates. Maybe they'll cut them twice this year, maybe not at all. The Fed is worried that tariffs will cause some inflation, and the U.S. economy is still quite strong, so why bother? Now, all that might change when President Trump appoints a new head of the Fed next year, and maybe that Fed will get aggressive in cutting rates, but I doubt it.
Steve Eisman believes that it's possible that once Jerome Powell leaves and Trump replaces him with a puppet Fed chair, that it's possible that rates will finally lower and Trump's going to get his massive bull market heading into midterm elections. But for now, he does not see interest rate cuts.
Our interest rate should be 3 points lower. If our interest rate was 3 points lower, that's almost $1 trillion in cost. And it's done just by the signing of a pen, but we have a at the head of the Fed. He's a
So Trump really wants us to have lower interest rates. And we've been talking about how somewhere between July and when Powell gets replaced, we get that massive bull run in markets. If Steve Eisman doesn't see anything happening within that window, potentially something with a new Fed chair, but even Steve Eisman doubts that. Trump believes that he can put a puppet Fed chair in who's going to do exactly what he wants on interest rates. Very likely that happens. What does Raoul Pal say about the interest rate situation and about altcoins in particular?
Okay, please stop with this banana zone crap. There isn't going to be one. Most alts are way below all-time highs. Keep earning your income from your online channel, I would. Anything way below the all-time high, that's okay. Everything is, including Ethereum, Solana, all of it. And the risk reward in this space is you can make extraordinary returns if you make the right asset allocation and you stomach preposterous amounts of volatility, which makes it hard because you don't know whether you've made the right allocation because it's volatile, which is why I talk about looking at the relative charts. Is my favorite bag outperforming Solana, yes or no? And if it's doing it, great, you're onto something. If not, shut the up. Thank you. Next, why does crypto suck ass? Because, exactly my point, crypto's not easy. It is not a gift that comes without pain. No.
So these are very common comments in the crypto space. People complaining that assets are down from their all-time highs, even though Cardano was down from its all-time high here when it hit 3 cents, and then it did 100x. It really does not matter if an asset is down from its all-time highs. We've covered how previous price action has absolutely nothing to do with future price action. That's where the life-changing returns come in when looking at these assets. So again, we're talking about interest rates. We're talking about the macro environment. We're talking about what moves these assets. That's what matters.
So he pulls back 50%. Bitcoin pulls back a bit, 20%. Everyone's like, where's the banana. Then it goes up. Bitcoin's now pretty much back to almost all-time highs today. When banana? Well, Sui's down from all-time highs, but it's still up since then. We've explained that alts are more volatile to Bitcoin. And so what normally happens is the altcoin season comes. Then within the tokens themselves, it's not that difficult. It's all about network adoption, number of active users, total value transacted. It's that. But when banana, when the chart is there, and I'll go through the chart in a sec. Guys, what's wrong with you? It's frustrating when the market does nothing for a while, chops around, and your alts bleed. It's okay, because you look at the long-term adoption curve and you try and do the right things, which is compounding in sell-offs. Buy when the market's down.
So what matters with altcoins at the end of the day is adoption. We're going to cover adoption of some of these revolutionary assets later in this video. But again, let's get to the macro.
Okay, the ISM has been for an extended period of time below 50, up and down. It's been dragging higher, but it's been slow. It's been slow because the dollar was high and rates have been high. Rates will come lower because Trump will force them lower. And the dollar is already falling fast. And we'll see the ISM come up. Business cycle is slowly rising. Why does it matter? Because the business cycle is how you all feel, how your businesses feel. Most of the economy is not growing. Some parts are growing. GDP has been growing for different reasons. But really, the average median business in America, median person's income, ain't changing right now. If you're running a restaurant or a shop or a services business, is it really happening for you right now? No. Is it okay? Just about. But your interest rates are high. So when interest rates come down, what we'll find is economic activity picks up, and then suddenly speculative activity picks up, and that changes the structure of market. It has always been so.
So we've been covering how important the ISM is. That measures manufacturing activity. It measures the economy. It's been stagnant for years at this point because of interest rates. And we've covered at length on this channel how the chart of the ISM looks exactly like the chart of ICP, of Chainlink, of AERODROME, of any quality altcoin on the planet. And of course, Raoul Pal understands how it's tied to interest rates and how interest rates drive the economy, but also altcoins. And we just have to put the pieces together to understand when we literally get life-changing returns. Steve Eisman doesn't think interest rates are coming down anytime soon, even when the Fed chair gets replaced. Raoul Pal thinks Trump's just going to be able to lower interest rates easily. That's going to cause altcoins to pump. Trump thinks they're going to be able to replace Jerome Powell and lower interest rates. I can wait 8 months. I'm earning unbelievable passive income. My portfolio pays me constantly. You can stake BitTensor subnets and earn ridiculous APY. You can stake ICP and earn 14% passive income. You can stake Chainlink and earn 6+ or 5% passive income. You can stake AERODROME and earn 40% passive income. If you have questions about how to do any of that safely and reliably, reach out to me on Patreon. We're winning in this market. We're getting paid unbelievable amounts of passive income. It doesn't even matter what these assets do because you can earn ridiculous income by staking them. Very few people understand this. It's potentially life-changing if you do it right. I don't even mind the current state of markets because it just gives me the opportunity to earn more passive income and therefore buy more assets early stage, undiscovered, while prices are low. That's the secret to making life-changing returns. We know why these assets are going to pump. We know which assets are the highest quality. And we have the opportunity to take advantage of low prices. So let's talk about what the highest quality assets on the planet are. Because at the end of the day, crypto will be like internet stocks. To get these things higher into true life-changing returns, we need these assets to hit the trillions and trillions of dollars of market cap, like Amazon, like Microsoft, like NVIDIA. If you want true crazy 1000x returns, you need trillions of dollars of market cap. The only way to get that is with institutional capital. Institutional capital generally only flows into reliable assets, like Bitcoin, like big cap tech stocks. So what's going to cause institutions to funnel trillions of dollars of capital into our altcoins? Incredible fundamentals. Let's dive into the fundamentals of some of these assets. First up, we have Chainlink. Chainlink data enables decentralized finance. Currently, 67% of the entire decentralized finance world would not work if Chainlink wasn't working. That is how enormously important Chainlink is. And Chainlink is expanding to the rest of the financial system. This is where it gets enormous. Think about the percentage of the world's economy that Chainlink will power. Sergey Nazarov, the head of Chainlink, shared this. We have asset managers like UBS, which is the largest bank in Switzerland, a multi-trillion-dollar bank in terms of assets managed. We have State Street, another one, connecting to private blockchains, blockchain A, L2. We show SBI Digital Markets, again, a massive bank in Japan, using Chainlink CCIP to connect to other layer ones like UBS's layer one, right? Or Ethereum or the crypto space, which again, Chainlink powers 67% of. Right now, the future financial system is being built around Chainlink. It doesn't get better than that or bigger than that. Enormous. This is what the future financial system looks like. Now, of course, Chainlink isn't a blockchain. So it's not competing with blockchains. It's connecting the financial system together, but there's lots of room for other assets. For instance, ICP, the revolutionary layer one world computer that we talk about all the time on this channel. How will we know if ICP will provide life-changing returns? Well, its fundamentals have to continue growing exponentially. Here is how much ICP has been burned through cycles so far. The more ICP is used, the more development activity takes place, the more the token is burned, the more it can go deflationary like it did in 2024. In a bull market, ICP went deflationary. There was massive building on ICP because the more it's used, the more tokens get burnt. And when the tokens burned offset the token inflation, that's when ICP goes deflationary. Again, it happened in 2024, a mini bull market. What happens in a real bull market? Here's how much ICP has been burned through cycles so far. 2021, 11,000 ICP. 2022, 87,000 ICP. 2023, 57K ICP. 2024, 568,000 ICP. 2025, 1.2 million ICP so far. Now imagine what happens when Caffeine AI goes live. So unlike any other blockchain you can think of, ICP has the potential to go deflationary because its economics per user are better than any other blockchain. Because a user on ICP has to pay ICP for computation, for storage, for way more than just a blockchain transaction. A lot of blockchains outsource compute, storage to big tech like Google Cloud. ICP does not do that. So ICP token holders, the network, the DAO gets paid a huge amount of money when people use it. That's how ICP is able to go massively deflationary. Here's a look at ICP revenue. Look at where we were in Q2 2024 in terms of revenue. ICP generated $61,000 of revenue. In Q2 2025, ICP generated $2.5 million of revenue. That is exponential growth. How do we make life-changing returns in ICP or in crypto or in anything? We need exponential adoption, exponential revenue, exponential profit. That's what the smart money that moves these assets into trillions of dollars of market cap wants. That's the only way to make it happen. That is exactly what we're seeing with ICP. So all that matters is fundamentals when it comes to looking at which assets are going to provide life-changing returns. Here's the monthly decentralized exchange trading volume, close to an all-time high at $500 billion. So even in this crypto winter, the down market we've been seeing, we're seeing huge growth and adoption of decentralized exchanges. So here are the top decentralized exchanges by trading volume over the last 30 days. PancakeSwap, $200 billion. A lot of the Binance volume moves to PancakeSwap. Massive for PancakeSwap. Uniswap, a lot of Ethereum volume gets routed to Uniswap. Radium, a lot of the Solana volume moves to Radium. AERODROME, $14 billion. A lot of Coinbase's decentralized exchange trading volume moves onto AERODROME. And then Orca is another exchange on Solana. So we just showed how the fundamentals for decentralized exchange assets have never been better. They're growing exponentially. They're growing off the charts in this crypto winter. These 5 assets are benefiting from the massive adoption of this technology. It really doesn't get better than this. We know that a bull market is coming when interest rates fall. Steve Eisman doesn't see it happening for the foreseeable future. Raoul Pal thinks it's going to happen super fast. Trump thinks it's going to happen when Powell gets replaced in 8 months. I can happily wait 8 months again. But there's lots that can happen between now and then. It could change the supplemental leverage ratio. Something could break in the financial system, like commercial real estate could just have a cascading domino effect of downward spiraling prices. What happens whenever there's a financial collapse? The Fed steps in and starts printing money. So anything could happen between now and then. But what we do know is governments will do what they always do. They will print their way out of weak economies. So it's just a waiting game. Thank you for watching.